I would be truly grateful if you subscribe to the channel. Your support will help this family grow, so let's move forward together. My father bellowed, "You have 1 week to get your stuff out. Your brother owns that house now." I didn't beg or plead. I went nuclear. When they showed up, they weren't ready for what they found inside. Hey, Reddit. My golden child brother wrecked his own marriage. He got crushed in the fallout. Then my parents demanded I hand over the house I'd worked my tail off to buy so he could get back on his feet. So I torched the whole family dynamic. Here's how it went down. Context matters, so let me paint my childhood for you. I, Ryan Carter, 29, male, have lived in my older brother Nathan's shadow since I could crawl. From the moment that smug jerk learned to talk, I became invisible in my own home. Picture this, I'm 6, showing my dad a drawing I poured my heart into, our family, stick figures with big smiles. Nathan, 8 and already a master manipulator, struts in with a report card full of BS. Suddenly, I'm chopped liver. My parents acted like he'd just invented electricity. I'm standing there like, "Hey, remember me? Your other kid?" The favoritism wasn't subtle. At 10, I won the regional wrestling tournament in my weight class. Trained for months, beat kids twice my size, brought home a trophy bigger than my head. My dad's response? "Good job. Don't let it go to your head." That's it. But when Nathan made JV basketball as a sophomore, something half the school did, they threw him a damn celebration dinner at Outback Steakhouse. The worst part, Nathan learned early he could get away with anything. By middle school, he was playing my parents like a chess grandmaster. He'd break something, blame me, and they'd buy it every time. I got grounded for a week once because he accidentally deleted my dad's work presentation. Nathan smirked while I took the fall for not backing up the files. As we got older, the nonsense got worse. Nathan became the textbook golden boy who could do no wrong. Star athlete, charming with girls, charismatic when he wanted to be. Success went straight to his head, turning him into an entitled narcissist who thought the world owed him everything. My parents ate it up. Every girlfriend was the one. Every job was amazing. Every dumb decision was just Nathan finding himself. Meanwhile, I'm busting my ass in construction summers to save for college while Nathan's blowing cash on spring break trips they couldn't afford. The breaking point came at 17. I'd just gotten into state school with a partial academic scholarship. Proud as hell. My graduation gift? A $20 gas card and a lecture about how college is expensive, so make it count. Nathan's high school graduation 2 years earlier? They bought him a damn car. A car for a kid who'd never worked a day in his life. So I made a mental note, these people would never value me. I started planning my escape. Nathan kept riding the wave of being everyone's favorite. Got into a decent college on my parents' dime, partied through a communications degree, and somehow landed a sales job paying decent money right out of school. Everything fell into his lap while I was grinding. But here's the thing about golden children, when life's handed to you for 25 years, you never learn to handle real consequences. That lesson was coming for Nathan. Hard. Moving out at 18 with $400 and a duffel bag wasn't the American dream, but it was freedom. I found a dump of a studio apartment near campus that reeked of cigarettes and despair. Rent was $450 a month, leaving me $60 for food after tuition. College was a blur of ramen, energy drinks, and every job I could find. I waited tables at a sports bar, did landscaping weekends, and worked construction and oil field jobs in summers. My parents? They'd text me on my birthday and Christmas. That was it. All their energy went to ensuring Nathan had everything to succeed: new laptop for college, cash for internships in pricey cities, connections through my dad's work buddies, the red carpet treatment. But those construction and oil field jobs were a blessing in disguise. The guys there taught me more about life and money than any class. They didn't care about your feelings or family drama. Show up, do the work, get paid, or get out. I learned to keep my mouth shut, work harder than everyone, and that money talks while excuses walk. After 4 years of grinding, I graduated with a business finance degree and a job offer at a regional bank doing commercial lending. Nothing flashy, but $45,000 a year with benefits and room to grow. It taught me how money works, investments, credit, spotting financial nonsense from a mile away. Meanwhile, Nathan was living large in his sales job, making $70,000 but spending like he was pulling $200,000. Nice apartment, new car every few years, designer clothes, Instagram stories from fancy restaurants and weekend getaways. I lived like a monk. Drove my beat-up car until it died, bought generic everything, put every spare dollar into investments and savings. Coworkers thought I was nuts. Live a little, Ryan. They didn't get it. This wasn't about money, it was about never depending on anyone again. At 25, Nathan met Elizabeth. Beautiful, smart, from money, worked as a nurse. My parents acted like he'd won the jackpot. Finally, Nathan's settling down with a good girl. The engagement party was a $15,000 blowout my parents somehow funded. The wedding was bigger, destination in Mexico, open bar, the works. I was invited as an afterthought. No groomsman role, no special part, just, Ryan will be there too. I showed up, smiled for photos, watched my parents glow with pride as their golden boy married his perfect wife. Elizabeth was actually cool, down to earth, hardworking, didn't tolerate Nathan's arrogance when it flared. For a few years, it seemed marriage might mature him. They bought a house, talked kids, looked happy. But Nathan was already showing the entitlement that would ruin him. Elizabeth made good money as a nurse, but instead of building wealth, Nathan used it as an excuse to spend more, bigger house, fancier cars, vacations financed on credit. He never learned the difference between looking successful and being successful. When you live a life you can't afford, the bills come due. The cracks showed around year 3 of their marriage. Nathan's sales numbers slipped because he got lazy. Instead of working harder, he blamed his manager, the leads, the economy, anything but himself. His income dropped, but his spending didn't. Meanwhile, I climbed the ladder at the bank, senior lending officer, then assistant branch manager. I bought a perfect house in a solid neighborhood, 3 bedrooms, small yard, updated kitchen. The mortgage was less than most people's rent. Every dollar built equity in something that was mine. The day I got the keys was one of the best of my life. I stood in that empty living room, staring at the hardwood floors and big windows, feeling something new, security. Every inch represented late nights, double shifts, saying no to wants so I could afford needs. I called my parents to share the news, hoping they'd finally see what I'd built. "That's nice, honey," my mom said, barely glancing at the photos. My dad, "Hope you can afford it. Houses are expensive." No congratulations, no pride, just doubt. But I saw something else in their eyes, envy. I was too happy to care then, but it was a warning I missed. Life was good for 2 years. I had my house, my routine, my independence. I'd wake up, make coffee in my kitchen, and remind myself I'd pulled it off, the American dream, earned the hard way. I even tried rebuilding things with my family, hosting dinners at my place or bringing food to theirs. My parents never said thank you, but they showed up for free meals. Nathan and Elizabeth came sometimes, though Nathan always had a weird edge at my house, like it bugged him his younger brother had his act together. I should have seen the red flags. But I'm an optimist, or maybe just a glutton for punishment. The bomb dropped last fall, a Thursday night. I was grading loan applications, Netflix in the background, when my phone lit up with frantic texts from Nathan, "Need to talk. Can I come over? It's serious. I'm driving now. Be home." 20 minutes later, he's pounding on my door, looking like hell, unshaven, bloodshot eyes, clothes rumpled like he'd slept in them. This wasn't the cocky golden boy I knew. This was a broken man. "What happened to you?" I asked, letting him in. He collapsed on my couch, staring at the floor. After a long silence, he looked up, eyes wet. "Elizabeth left me." "What? Why? You seemed fine last month." Then it spilled out. Nathan had been cheating on Elizabeth for a year, not one affair, but multiple women, including 2 of her hospital coworkers. Dating apps, bar hookups, treating his marriage like a side hustle. "How'd she find out?" I asked, half thinking he deserved what was coming. "She found the texts. All of them, pictures, videos, everything." He buried his face in his hands. "Ryan, she's taking everything. The house, the cars, half my 401k. Her lawyer's talking alimony because I earn more. I'm screwed." The details got uglier. Elizabeth hired a shark of a divorce attorney who had proof of Nathan's affairs, evidence he'd spent marital assets on his side pieces, hotel rooms, gifts, all on joint credit cards. "How much money are we talking?" I asked. "All of it," he said. "The house is worth $280,000, and it'll probably go to her. She wants alimony for 5 years, maybe child support later." "Wait, kids? You have kids?" "Not yet, but we were trying. Her lawyer says I damaged her future earning potential by wrecking the marriage when she was ready for a family." The legal system was about to crush Nathan. He'd earned every bit of it. But this was Nathan, the golden child who'd never faced real consequences. Instead of owning it, he looked for someone to fix his mess. "I need help, Ryan," he said, and I saw where this was going. "I can't afford a lawyer to fight this. I'm going to lose everything." "Maybe you should have thought about that before screwing around." "Come on, man, don't be like that. I made a mistake. Elizabeth's being vindictive, trying to ruin me." Then the real bombshell: "I need money for a lawyer. Like, $30,000, maybe $40,000 to fight this properly. I stared at him. Are you serious right now? You're my brother, Ryan. You're the only one I can ask. Mom and Dad don't have that kind of money. Neither do I, asshole. You've got this house, your job, your savings. You could get a loan against the house or cash out investments. The audacity floored me. My brother had tanked his marriage and now wanted me to mortgage my house to help him screw over his wife even more. Absolutely not, I said. You made this mess. You deal with it. We argued for hours, him begging, promising to pay me back, swearing it was a misunderstanding. Me pointing out he was a grown man who made grown man choices and needed to face grown man consequences. You've always been jealous of me, he spat when I wouldn't budge. This is your chance to watch me fail, isn't it? You're loving this. I'm not jealous of you, Nathan. I feel sorry for you. But I'm not bankrupting myself to fix your screw-ups. He left that night, defeated, but with a glint of anger in his eyes, like I'd betrayed him. That should have been the end. Nathan deals with his divorce, learns a lesson, maybe grows up. But golden children don't learn lessons, and my parents were about to prove they'd never stop enabling their precious firstborn. The real breaking point came 3 weeks later on a Saturday morning. I'd had a long week at work and was looking forward to sleeping in, maybe doing some yard work, enjoying my space. I was on my second coffee, scrolling my phone in my kitchen, when someone started hammering on my front door like they were serving a warrant. Through the peephole, I saw my parents, Michael and Linda, standing there. My dad looked ready to fight, my mom had that pinched, disappointed face she saved for me. I opened the door, and they shoved past without an invite, marching into my living room like they owned it. We need to talk, my dad said in his old grounding voice. Sit down. Good morning to you too, I said, staying standing. Something in their vibe set off every alarm in my head. Nathan told us about your conversation, my mom said, arms crossed. About how you refused to help him. You mean when I refused to mortgage my house to pay for his divorce lawyer? Yeah, that happened. My dad stepped closer, and for a second, I thought he might swing. Your brother is in trouble, Ryan. Real trouble. Family helps family. Nathan's in trouble because he cheated on his wife with multiple women for a year. Those are called consequences. Don't get smart with me, he snapped. Nathan made a mistake, but Elizabeth's trying to destroy him. She wants to take everything he's worked for. The hypocrisy was staggering. Nathan had wrecked his own marriage, but somehow Elizabeth was the villain for not rolling over. What do you want from me? I asked, dreading the answer. My dad straightened, looking me dead in the eye. We've been thinking about your situation here. My situation? You're 29, single, living alone in a 3-bedroom house. That's a lot of space for one person. My stomach turned cold. And Nathan needs a place to stay while he gets back on his feet. This house is perfect for him. Are you suggesting Nathan move in with me? We're not suggesting, my mom said. We're telling you what's going to happen. Nathan is moving in, and you're going to help him through this difficult time. I laughed out loud. You're both out of your damn minds if you think I'm letting Nathan move into my house. This isn't a negotiation, my dad said, voice dangerously quiet. This is what families do for each other. Your brother needs help, and you're going to provide it. The hell I am. That's when my dad dropped the real bomb. Actually, we've been thinking about this wrong, he said, his eyes chilling me. Nathan doesn't need to move in with you. He needs his own place, his own fresh start. Okay, so he can find an apartment. He can't afford an apartment, but he can afford this house. The room went silent. I stared, trying to process. What did you just say? This house is too much for you anyway, my mom said, like she was being reasonable. The payments, the maintenance, the responsibility. You're not really ready for homeownership, but Nathan is. He needs stability, and this place would be perfect for him. Nathan can have the house, my dad said. You can move back home with us until you figure out your next step. It's the right thing to do. For a second, I couldn't speak. These people had walked into my house, the house I'd bought with my own blood, sweat, and tears, and told me to hand it over to my cheating, reckless brother. Are you completely insane? I finally said. Watch your language, my mom snapped. We're your parents, and you'll show some respect. Respect? You just walked into my house and told me I'm giving it to Nathan because his marriage imploded after he screwed half the city. Nathan needs this more than you do, my dad said. He's got bigger problems, bigger responsibilities. You're young. You can start over. He can't. He's 3 years older than me. But he's been through a divorce. He's lost everything. You don't understand what that's like. He'd lost everything because he'd thrown it away. But in their twisted logic, I should sacrifice my life to fix his. This is my house, I said, voice deadly calm. I bought it. I pay the mortgage. You have no right to walk in here, Ann. We have every right, my dad cut in. We're your family, and sometimes family means making sacrifices for the people you love. Where was that energy when I needed help in college? When I was working 3 jobs and eating ramen every night? That was different, my mom said. You were young. You needed to learn responsibility. Nathan's going through a crisis. This isn't about fairness, Ryan, my dad said. This is about doing what's right. That's when it hit me, it was never going to be fair. Nathan would always be their priority, no matter how badly he screwed up. I could work myself to death, build a life, buy a house, and the second their golden boy needed something, I was expected to hand it over. Get out, I said quietly. What? Get the hell out of my house. My dad's face turned purple. You ungrateful little shit. After everything we've done for you. What have you done for me? Name one thing you've done for me that you didn't do 10 times more for Nathan. Silence. That's what I thought. Now get out before I call the police and have you trespassed. They left, but not before my dad turned at the door and sealed their fate. You have 1 week to pack your stuff, Ryan. 1 week to do the right thing. After that, we'll handle this ourselves. I stood in my living room, shaking with rage, watching their car disappear down my street. That's when I decided, if they wanted my house so badly, they could have it, but not how they thought. I didn't sleep that night. I sat on my couch until sunrise, replaying every moment that led to this. Every time I'd been ignored, every sacrifice I'd made for people who saw me as a backup plan. Every dollar I'd earned while Nathan got handouts. I was done, not just with the house, but with the toxic dynamic, the cycle of Nathan screwing up and everyone cleaning his mess, the expectation I should be grateful for scraps while he got a feast. If my parents thought they could bully me into giving up my house, they were about to learn how wrong they were. By 6 a.m., I was thinking clearer than ever. I started making calls, first to a real estate agent specializing in quick sales, then to an apartment hunting service, then to my bank about liquidating investments. The plan was simple and brutal. They'd given me 1 week to do the right thing. They didn't know I was doing the right thing, for me. The real estate agent, Jessica, a sharp woman who knew her stuff, came by Monday evening to assess the house. She walked through every room, took notes, checked recent sales in the neighborhood. In this market, with your house's condition, we could easily get asking price, she said. Maybe even start a bidding war if we price it right. How fast can we move? I asked. Faster than fast. Like, close by Friday. She raised an eyebrow. That's tight, but not impossible. A cash buyer or pre-approved buyer could do it, but it'll mean pricing to sell quickly. Price it to move. I don't care if I leave money on the table. Speed is everything. While Jessica set up the listing and scheduled a photographer, I worked on phase 2, finding a new place. Not another house, that'd take too long. A nice apartment, move-in ready. I found a perfect 1-bedroom downtown, walking distance from work, available immediately. The landlord loved a tenant with good credit and stable income, especially one paying first and last month's rent plus deposit in cash. By Wednesday, I'd signed a lease and started moving. I rented a storage unit for furniture that wouldn't fit and began erasing every trace of my life from the house. It needed to look good for showings, but more importantly, I wanted to be gone before my family caught on. The security camera by my front door, installed a year ago for basic protection, was now my front row seat to the chaos I was about to unleash. Wednesday afternoon, Jessica called. We've got multiple offers. 3 are cash, all above asking. A young couple loves the place and wants to close Friday. They're offering $15,000 over asking and waiving inspection. Done, I said without hesitation. Thursday morning, I met the buyers, Tom and Emily, doctors relocating for new jobs. They loved the house, the neighborhood, everything. We've been looking for months, Emily said as we signed papers. Everything decent gets snapped up so fast. This is exactly what we wanted. I was genuinely happy for them. They'd appreciate the house the way I had. Knowing it was going to people who earned it, not my deadbeat brother, felt like justice. Friday morning, we closed. Just like that, the house wasn't mine. Tom and Emily got the keys. I got a check bigger than I'd ever seen. My family's plan went up in smoke before they knew there was a fire. Friday afternoon, I settled into my new apartment, watching my security camera app, waiting for the fireworks. Saturday morning, I woke early, made coffee in my new kitchen, and ordered pizza for breakfast because I felt like celebrating. At 9:23 a.m., my phone buzzed with a motion alert from the camera. Showtime. The footage was better than any blockbuster. There they came, rolling up to my former house like they were claiming a castle. My dad's SUV pulled a U-Haul trailer, my mom sat smug in the passenger seat, Nathan followed in his beat-up BMW, back seat stuffed with boxes. They'd come for a full takeover. Furniture was strapped to Nathan's car, his whole life packed in that trailer. My dad strutted around like he owned the place, probably proud of teaching me a lesson. The first hint of trouble came when Nathan reached the door, fishing for keys that didn't exist. He tried the handle, knocked, then stepped back, confused. My dad marched up, pounding the door. "Ryan, open this door. We're here to help Nathan move in." I turned off my phone's ringer and watched 57 missed calls pile up in 15 minutes, my dad's face getting redder through the camera. I didn't answer a single one, but I screenshotted the call log for evidence. Then Nathan took matters into his own hands. He went to the backyard, returned with a landscaping brick from the garden bed. My dad was shouting, probably egging him on, because Nathan smashed that brick through my living room window. The sound of breaking glass was music through my phone speaker. All three climbed through, and for 10 minutes, the camera showed an empty front yard, broken window, and U-Haul. I could only imagine what they found inside: Tom and Emily's furniture, their family photos, their stuff, not a trace of me or anything for them. Then Nathan charged out the front door, screaming, carrying a box that wasn't his, tossing Tom and Emily's belongings onto the lawn. My parents followed, my mom gesturing wildly, my dad looking like someone told him his winning lottery ticket was fake. That's when Tom and Emily pulled up. They got out, saw three strangers ransacking their house, and Emily screamed, "Thieves! Someone's robbing our house!" Tom, built like he still played college football, marched up to Nathan and grabbed the box. "What the hell are you doing with our stuff?" he shouted. Nathan, clueless, yelled back, "This is my brother's house. I don't know who you are, but you need to get out." "Liar!" Tom shot back, looking ready to deck him. "We bought this house yesterday. We have the paperwork." Emily ran to their car, returned with a folder, deed, closing papers, proof. She shoved it at my dad, who went pale as he realized what he was holding. His brilliant plan to steal my house for Nathan had imploded spectacularly. Emily was on her phone calling the police while Tom got more aggressive with Nathan. I couldn't blame him, some lunatic had broken into his house and was trashing his family's stuff. My dad kept stammering that he was my father, that the house should belong to the family, that he had every right to be there. But Tom and Emily called the emergency number I'd left them. That was my cue. I got dressed, grabbed popcorn for the road, and drove over for the finale. By the time I arrived, 2 police cars were flashing, neighbors gawking, my family in the center looking like their world had ended. Nathan saw me pull up and charged like a bull. "Ryan, you fucking traitor. What did you do?" The cops grabbed him before he could reach me, smart, because he looked murderous. I stayed calm, walked to the officers, and explained in my most reasonable voice, "Officers, this was my house until yesterday. I bought it with my own money, have all the paperwork to prove it. My family gave me an ultimatum to hand it to my brother. I chose to sell it to this nice couple here. These 3 broke my window, entered illegally, and were throwing the new owner's belongings around. I handed over my documents, original deed, sale paperwork, everything. Tom and Emily backed me up completely. The lead officer looked at Nathan, still fighting the cuffs, and shook his head. "Sir, you're under arrest for breaking and entering, burglary, and destruction of property." I couldn't resist twisting the knife. "You know what, Nathan?" I said, loud enough for everyone to hear. "You call me selfish after 30 years of watching you get everything while I earned every scrap? After begging me to mortgage my house to pay for lawyers because you couldn't keep it in your pants? This is selfish." The silence was deafening. My parents stared like I'd grown horns. Nathan looked ready to kill. The neighbors were getting better drama than cable. "This was my house," I continued. "Mine, bought with my money. And you had the nerve to show up and try to take it because your golden boy made a mess of his life. Guess what? I gave it to someone who deserves it. Nathan lost it, you ruined my life. I lost everything, and you could have helped me. You're my brother. You ruined your own life," I said calmly. "Being your brother doesn't mean I fix your mistakes or sacrifice my success for your failures." My mom was crying. My dad looked like he'd aged a decade in 10 minutes. Nathan kept screaming threats from the back of the police car. As they drove him away, I felt something profound: freedom. Nathan spent 6 months in county jail. Breaking a window, stealing, and trashing property comes with a price. He paid hefty fines, covered Tom and Emily's damages, and got community service after release. Tom and Emily, by the way, are great people. After the dust settled, they sent me a thank you card for selling them the house. They love the neighborhood, their kids started at the local school, and they've put in a vegetable garden where my fire pit used to be. My parents tried to rebuild things once. My mom left a 5-minute voicemail 3 weeks after Nathan's arrest, crying about family forgiveness and healing wounds, asking me to drop the charges and help pay his legal fees. I listened, laughed until my sides hurt, and blocked their numbers for good. Nathan's divorce was as brutal as expected. Without money for a good lawyer, he got steamrolled. Elizabeth took the house, most of their assets, and 5 years of alimony. Nathan's now in a studio apartment, working a call center job, driving a car with 200,000 miles on it. Some might say that's harsh, that everyone deserves a second chance, that family should stick together, that I went too far cutting them off. To them, I say, you've never been the family scapegoat. I spent 29 years as the afterthought, watching Nathan get handed everything while I earned every inch. The money from the house set me up better than I'd dreamed. After paying off my car and student loans, I had enough to max out my retirement accounts for years and build an emergency fund that could last 2 years without work. I'm in my downtown apartment, saving money, dating a woman who values what I've built and doesn't expect me to hand it over. For the first time since childhood, I don't care what my family thinks of me. Cutting toxic people out is liberating.